Go for it.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to For the Love of Health. I'm here with the lovely Jeanne Andrus, the Menopause Guru, and we are just beginning this conversation talking about our businesses and how we're pivoting online and just doing that thing. So, Jeanne, I just cut you off, but you were just saying that you're global. You're able to help people online as well as where you are based in Louisiana.
Yes. Hi, Laura. It's great to be here today. Yeah, I work globally. I work with people all over. I hate to say it, I am only English speaking, so I work anywhere where somebody can talk with me in English because I'm language challenged.
So tell us about the Menopause Guru. How long have you been serving clients with?
So I've been working with clients for about 10 years in this arena particularly. My own journey started when I was 48 and my menopause got in the way of my life and my job and my marriage and almost my relationship with my kid, who is now 42 and the love of my life still. But I was going through menopause myself and my doctors weren't helping and the books were not really helping. And I wound up having to do a whole huge lot of research myself about what I was going through. And when I got on the other side of feeling better, I started working as a personal trainer and a running coach and, believe it or not, as a kayak instructor. Teaching whitewater kayaking. But what I found was working with women in that age group, in that 45 to 60-year-old age group, that we were all going through the same things and nobody was helping us with it. So as menopausal women, I realized that we needed more. We needed more information, we needed more support, we needed more direction. So those were all the things that I wanted to put into a coaching program. And that's what I coach now. I call it Menopause Mastery Coaching.
So, were you feeling this particular passion for this issue or this age group before yourself was directly involved in it? Or was this the thing that was the major catalyst, like being in it?
It was a major catalyst for me. Honestly, to be perfectly honest, I never even considered menopause. I was, my own journey didn't have me thinking anything about it. I didn't think I was old enough. I didn't think I was, I don't know, I guess I was stupid, but nobody talked about it. So this is 17, 18 years ago, and nobody talked about it. My doctor asked a couple of oblique questions that, if I had known what she was talking about, would have been clear to me, but I didn't know what she was talking about. So she was saying, if changes start to happen and you're uncomfortable with them, come back and see me. And I'm like, huh? What? And so I was clueless. And my personal symptoms early on were anxiety and depression and anger, which does wonders for a marriage. Couple that with low libido, and I was getting divorced. And I didn't quite know why. And I didn't quite know why this relationship I'd counted on for 27, 29 years was going away. And it did. And I decided that I had to get healthy or I wasn't going to be able to make it another 30 or 40 years. And I had every intention of doing that.
Well, thank you for speaking to some of those, darker moments and some of those pain points that are pretty incredible. And that, your ability to help people through those things because you yourself have experienced them. It's kind of earth-shattering to hear of such a period in someone's life having the physical symptoms and other things that are kind of happening as a direct result of that. So let's talk about your customers a bit more. What would you say are some of their like, big pain points coming and needing help?
Well, I get people for a number of reasons. And the probably the biggest thing that starts a conversation is that they're gaining weight and their inability to lose weight, because the weight is driven through hormonal changes. So they're not getting the 20-year-old personal trainer at the gym has no idea. The diet for everybody, the diet of the month club, doesn't work for them because it's hormonally driven. The fit and fierce over 40 sometimes works and sometimes doesn't work. Sometimes it's just too intense. And what they really need, especially the women I know who are driven highly by cortisol, it doesn't work. So I get the weight loss. I've got hot flashes, insomnia, anger, depression, symptoms that aren't working for me, and I need to know what's going on. And I guess some of my most favorite clients are the ones who say, I want to support my body through this, and I also want to know what the world has to offer me as I move forward. Because we change in the way we think, the way we feel, the way we relate to other people. And it gives us the opportunity to spend the rest of our lives putting ourselves more at the center of our own focus. And we get to choose what we want to be and do and have for the rest of our lives in a way that we haven't been able to do.
I just got super emotional. That was awesome. I love that you said, and I just love how you're so clear on, what your ideal customer looks like. Because I think a lot of us, it's a lot of people, the clients who I've worked with are struggling with that, like knowing, who is the right one and what is the success that they're really going for with people, and what to them is that perfect customer. So many of us can really need to do what you've done, which is lay out those details. And I think you're right. There's so much, and a lot of things that I view in the menopause related areas or communities are this being fierce. And I love that you're saying, let's introduce something softer, a little less intensity. It's a great way to frame that. And so
intensity is wonderful when you want it, but we also need, so recently I've sort of grabbed two main themes in my marketing. One is make your decisions from love. And when I say love, I mean self-love. I mean the profound caring about yourself that says you deserve to be happy for the next 30, 40 years of your life. And most of us are looking at 30 or 40 years after we run out of periods. And the other one is reclaim your magic. And I think a lot of us, our magic for so long has been being mom and being worker and being all of those things to everyone else. And it's reclaiming your personal magic, your personal purpose and goals and dreams. And I call them BHAGs, big, hairy, audacious goals. And it's so important to give you the focus and the love for the rest of your life.
That's so amazing. It's so beautiful. So, I would love to hear a little bit about like maybe your a recent client that you've worked with, and how long that process took. What kind of setup did you offer? Do you offer your clients? Do you offer them private boxers or one-to-one coaching calls? How does that framework look a little bit?
So my framework starts with a program that I do. Right now I started every 3 months. It's a 13-week program in which the the job of that program is to educate, to teach you what you need to know about what your body is going through, because nobody sits us down and tells us what we need to know. And I believe strongly that we should be talking about it, understanding it, knowing what's happening. So the 13 weeks sort of goes at the bottom of both my, let's say my DIY coaching program and my full-blown coaching program. So my with the DIY stuff, it's people who have a little less complexity in their journey. They've maybe been taking care of themselves, or they're only dealing with a couple of hormonal imbalances, usually estrogen and progesterone. And it's easier for them to create a plan that works for themselves. So I meet with them 3 times and we create their plan. We evaluate what's going on underneath. We create their plan, and then we tweak their plan a few weeks later that makes sure that they can get the changes they need. The other piece of that would be the one-on-one coaching. And these are people whose issues are more complex, or they just want more support. So I meet with them twice a month for 6 months. And they're still going through that education piece, but they're also working with me to create their plan, to uncover their purpose, to deal with lingering, can I say the S word here?
Oh yeah, of course.
Their shit that they've been going through for years, or have just like, it's been accumulating. So maybe they have boundary issues or issues with anger that they've been just accumulating for years, or maybe they're dealing with a relationship that's falling apart. So we support them through, I support them through that particular issue, plus as well as all the health issues that they may be going through. And they're coming out on the other end of that 6 months with much better understanding of who they are, of who they want themselves to be. And they've been able to release a lot of the junk that they've been carrying for a while, and they can move forward. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. It sounds like a really great framework, and definitely is long enough for a transformation to take. And it sounds like you're adding an education, but also allowing them that space to kind of release and let go of something. So some mindset support in addition to maybe a more content-based framework.
Yes, exactly. And
Great.
what I find with my people, so I'm working with a woman right now who came to me. She's had a hysterectomy, so she didn't really know that she was coming up on menopause. She still has her ovaries. And she came to me because she was feeling like she just was at wit's end. She's had some major problems with her own business and a relationship. And so we've been working on diet all along. She'd like to lose some weight. So we've been working with diet and exercise and stress management and sleep. But on the other hand, we're also working with forgiveness and boundaries and just reassessing her own personal goals for the rest of her life. And she had thought she might have to give up her business just because it wasn't working for her anymore. And what we discovered was it was more around some of this forgiveness and boundary issues. So she's really starting to light up over when she's talking about her business again.
That's a great result, that, thinking about like the health issue and strengthening the health in order to, and, be able to then be more successful. It sounds like it's a great, very strategic and supportive part of a woman's journey at this time. So that's really great that you're offering that service. It's so much needed. So, are you facing any current challenges or right now with your business in order to be able to expand, or where are you going? Where's your head at with what your certain goals or deadlines or intentions are right now?
So for me, a lot of it has been learning to get clear about my message, very much so. So I've been working in this area for a long time, but it has not taken off the way I'd like it to, because it's because of what I've done, what I haven't done. But what I'm realizing is the power of talking to other people about what's going on and getting them to understand what it is I'm trying to do. And so a lot of times I'll be talking to health coaches, and health coaches think that they can do it all, because sometimes they can. But what they miss is this whole hormonal underlying piece. Or I'm talking to some, so it's been a challenge for me to get the words right, to get the ask right. So when I'm talking to someone like you, it's like, who do you know that's struggling with this? And do you know how to really explain it to them? So I'm finding myself finding that way. And I think that's, I don't know, I think that's probably everybody's struggle, and the I've got to do it myself. So I've given that up. I gave that one up for 2022. Is my whole thing right now is finding the people who know the people who need my services.
Yeah, no, that's a great strategy. So it's more like a referral strategy where
Absolutely.
practicing being able to tell other people what it is that your pitch in a way, kind of, and asking them if they have someone specific to your, not only to your service, but to your position service, which in your case is helping people do this with a less intense, less like hustle kind of vibe, a more supportive and grounding.
Right.
So, that's great, but with a firm grasp on education. I think that when you said that felt to me a little bit more fired up, even though you are a supportive, nurturing presence. It is a bit of like, to me, when I heard you say that, it sounded like a very passionate mission, which
That
is,
it is.
and
That
that
it is.
and that in itself is very strong and bold. So that could be played a certain way too.
Yeah.
Just how you talk to people. It could be both like I'm a nurturing, I create nurturing presence for women in menopause, but also my mission is to make sure women don't go through what I went through. The pain point is okay to share, because the mission is that great that women don't hear about this, and they should, right?
They really should.
That's so powerful. It's so bold. It's so powerful. And I mean, how does that feel for you, putting that as like a front?
I do it all the time. So I wrote the book on menopause. I Just Want to Be Me Again. I published the first edition about 6 years ago, a little over 6 years ago now. And I just completed the second edition. It will be available on Amazon and through my website, probably right around the time this goes live. So I'm it'll be available on Amazon for pre-sale as soon as I get a cover back from my cover designer. But it's so important for us to know what the changes that our body is doing, because that's the key to, you can't even make decisions about how to eat or what to eat or how to exercise or what to do about sleep until you know what the underlying hormones are doing and the changes that your body is going through.
Well, that's great. I think that's a clear strategy. I mean, it sounds like, you have a couple things coming up that you're building momentum around. And, you know, you're more than welcome to share those things with me in another conversation about like, you know, how to, you know, what are the steps you want to take to get this number of people to see it, or this number of people in conversation, you know, because all of those things too, those little logistical things are so big, and especially when you have such big goals like you have.
So right now, between the middle of February and the middle of March, I am doing something really special. It's a service that normally you can only get through working with me one-on-one, and it's a hormone assessment. So we look at what your symptoms are, and we come up with a hypothesis. I can't diagnose, I'm not a medical doctor, but we can come up with a hypothesis as to what's going on underneath with your hormonal balance. And this is normally part of my one-on-one coaching package or working with my program. And I'm offering that for free. I'm doing 30 sessions from the 15th of February through the 15th of March. And someone can get hold of one of those sessions by going to menopause.guru/hormones. And that will direct you to my calendar. My calendar will allow you to schedule an appointment and send you to the quiz, the assessment tool to go through your symptoms. And then in our meeting, we'll talk through those particular symptoms and see what's going on with you. So that's what I'm offering to your listeners today, and to their listeners, the people that they know who are wondering what is going on with them. Women between 40 and 60 or 65 need to understand what not just estrogen and progesterone are doing, but how that's affecting every cell in their body, because it does.
Well, how exciting that you are offering that additional tool for people, and doing it within a particular time frame that works for your business, and thinking about that long term. And so it's a very useful thing, and many people can definitely be learning about how they can start incorporating value-based items like that in order to, again, work more value first rather than just going to fill a service. Well, thank you so much for sharing your passion for menopause and for women today with me. It's been very enlightening. I've learned a great deal.
Thanks so much for having me, Laura. It's been wonderful to get a chance to talk to you about this.
Thank you. Likewise. I'm really excited for everybody to hear this.